too. It had been a wonderful tour, but a little hectic. So my husband Gary and I decided to take a couple of days and just relax up here in the mountains. Then we go home and join our family for Christmas. Little did we know that things would not turn out at all like we planned. That we'd end up meeting all sorts of wonderful people and doing things, well, you'll see what happened. It all started with our final concert. The excitement of the audience and the music on that last night was really special because we knew soon we'd be heading home for the holidays. You tell me your friends are distant. You tell me your man's untrue. You tell me that you've been walked on and how you feel abused. So you stand there, an angry young woman, taking all the pain to heart. I hear you saying you want to see changes, but you don't know how to start. Love will find a way. Love will find a way. I know it's hard to see the past and still believe that love is gonna find a way. Love will find a way. Love can make a way. So leave behind the doubt. Love's the only out. Love will surely find a way. I know this life is a strange thing. I can't answer all the whys. Tragedy always finds me, yeah, taken again by surprise. But I could stand here, an angry young woman, taking all the pain to heart. But I know that love can bring changes, and so we've got to move on. Love will find a way. Love will find a way. I know it's hard to see the past and still believe that love is gonna find a way. Love will find a way. Love can make a way. So leave behind the doubt. Love's the only out. Love will surely find a way. If our God, His Son, not sparing, came to rescue you, well, is there any circumstance that He can't see you through? Love will find a way. Love will find a way. I know it's hard to see the past and still believe that love is gonna find a way. I know that love will find a way. I believe that love can make a way. So leave behind the doubt. Love's the only out. Love will surely find a way. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's great to be here in Montana. Thank you. We've been singing all over the country, but tonight is the last night of our tour, the last time we'll sing this year, and it truly is wonderful to end up the last night in Montana. Thank you. So you guys, have you guys done your Christmas shopping yet? Anybody? I tell you what, life gets so crazy on the road and going from one city to another. I have not begun my Christmas shopping, and I'm sure my husband Gary is waiting with bated breath to find out what I have for him, but I won't talk about it now. But I gotta tell you, I love Christmas time, and partly because it brings family together and because it's the greatest celebration we'll ever know. And this next song really is what it's all about. Emmanuel, wonderful counselor, Lord of light, Lord of all. He's the Prince of Peace, mighty God, Holy One. Emmanuel, wonderful counselor, Lord of light, Lord of all. He's the Prince of Peace, mighty God, Holy One. Emmanuel, wonderful counselor, Lord of light, Lord of all. He's the Prince of Peace, mighty God, Holy One. Emmanuel, Emmanuel.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Grant, heading home for the holidays. With her guests, Art Garfunkel, Ed Begley Jr., Jimmy Webb, Kalina Kiff, and special guest Dennis Weaver. Amy Grant, Headin' Home for the Holidays, is sponsored in part by McDonald's. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Well, we were really looking forward to going home to Tennessee. I come from a large family, and Christmas is the greatest time, especially for the kids. Now, Gary and I don't have any children yet, but there's always a house full of nieces and nephews, especially around the holidays. But before going home, we had a couple of days to spare, and we thought, as long as we're all the way up here in Montana, we might as well take a little time and take in some of the sights. Actually, I should say Gary decided. He's the one who's made all the arrangements. You see, with touring and recording, we've been so busy lately, we haven't had any time to take a vacation alone, just the two of us. So needless to say, Gary's thrilled with all of his plans. He said we'd start by driving around the rest of Glacier National Park here and taking the scenery. And then he's found this nice, quiet, secluded mountain lodge. I think we'll have a romantic candlelight dinner there.
Excuse me, honey. We need to get going. We got a lot to see. Oh, man. Glacier National Park. 1,013,000 acres of unspoiled wilderness, covered in snow and ice. Look at that lake.
Oh, and I forgot my bathing suit. You know, I love the mountains. What I'd really like to do is come up here and live in the mountains for as long as it would take to write my first epic novel.
You live in these mountains?
Yeah.
Amy, there are bears in these woods.
Okay, maybe a short novel.
Big bears, grizzlies,
Maybe just a collection, say, of short stories.
and packs of hungry wolves.
Maybe I'll just scratch a few lines of poetry right here in the truck.
You know, Montana is just an incredible place. Did you know this one state is bigger than the whole country of Japan?
Really?
Yeah, they got 2 billion acres of co-reserves and 17 million acres of commercial forest land. Yeah, Lewis and Clark really discovered something when they came up here.
Lewis and Clark, huh?
Yeah, other than the Indians, Lewis and Clark were the first people to come to Montana, way back in 1805.
You know, I had a history class back in
Then,
high
of course, Montana became the 41st state in 1889.
school. My history teacher used to say all
You know,
the
I
time.
hate to interrupt you here, but you just see so much more when you drive. Look at this. The average American family drives
Gary, how do you know all this stuff?
I've been reading up. Books about Montana, books about the local environs.
Environs?
That's what the book calls them, environs. I told you, I got organized for this trip. I prepared for everything.
How about running out of gas? Gary, do you have any idea where we are?
Gas. You know, you'd think if you rented a fine vehicle like this, it would come with gas. You know, you just see so much more when you walk.
Yeah, but this is one fine mess you've gotten us into. You know that?
Yeah, but isn't it great to get that crisp mountain air into your lungs?
Hey, what's this place? I hate to cut short our nature walk, but I bet we can get some help over here. Hey, it looks like something's going on. Excuse me. I was wondering if you could help us. Our truck ran out of gas.
Amy Grant!
Yeah, hi, what's your name?
Jenny, what are you doing out here?
Well, my husband Gary and I were touring around for a couple of days, or trying to anyway.
Oh, I know you were playing in a concert. I really wanted to go, but I had singing practice.
Oh, you're a singer.
Well, not like you, but I'm in a choir.
Well, that's great. What's the name of the choir?
It's called the Glacier Choir. We also have an orchestra. We're getting ready for our Christmas celebration.
That sounds wonderful.
It's really fun. You know, Amy, you're my favorite singer.
Thank you.
Hey, Jenny. Have you seen my flyers?
Dad, this is Amy Grant and her husband. You know, Amy Grant from my record albums.
Hi, I'm Tom Ellis.
Nice to meet you,
you,
Tom.
Amy.
Thank
How you
you.
doing?
I'm Gary Chapman.
Pleased to meet you.
The truck ran out of gas down the roadway. I was wondering if you could help us out.
It's no problem. I can run you over and get you some gas.
Appreciate it. Amy, we'll be back in a bit.
Jenny, maybe you'd like to show Amy around the place.
Sure. You'd like to see the rest of our horses?
I'd love to. Gary and I have horses on our farm back in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to imagine purebred Arabian horses in Montana, but this is a great place to raise them and train them for show.
How long you been riding, Jenny?
Since I was 5.
5. Wow. So that's why you're so good.
Thanks. You know, we have to exercise all these horses twice a day. That's how I get my exercise. How about you? You're not bad yourself.
Oh, I've just started getting the hang of it.
My dad runs this whole farm, and my friends and I work here too. We like to be with the horses as much as we can.
You're a lucky girl, Jenny.
That's the way to go, Jenny. Keep 'em moving. Hey, Amy, how about a job? We sure can put you to work out here.
You better watch out. I may take you up on it.
Well, the truck's all set. But I understand you're here to see some of the sights.
Love to.
How about a ride?
Yeah.
I've arranged a little local Montana transportation.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, come on, let's go. Woo, let's go.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Outside the snow is falling, friends are calling you too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in
giddy up, it's grand, just holding your hand. We're riding along with the song of a wintry fairyland.
Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy cozy are we. We snuggle close together like birds of a feather be.
Let's take that road before us and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
It's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending of a perfect day.
We'll be singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop. At the fireplace where we'll watch the chestnuts pop. Pop, pop, pop. There's a happy feeling nothing in this world can buy.
When they pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie.
It'll nearly be like a picture print by Career and Dives. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too.
Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you boo.
Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Lovely weather for a
This sculpture is of White Quiver. He was a famous Blackfeet warrior. I just learned that. You see, Jenny and her dad asked me what kinds of things I'd like to see while I was up here in Montana. Well, I said maybe a little scenery, maybe a little history, maybe something about the Indians. So they brought me here to see some of this beautiful sculpture.
You know, Amy, the whole history of this part of Montana is the history of the Blackfeet Indians. Right now, we're even standing on part of the Blackfeet Reservation.
Amy, look at this one.
Nice.
Yeah, now, this one shows the reaction of the Indians when they first saw a horse 200 years ago.
Dad, tell her what the word for horse is.
Well, it's kind of interesting. The Blackfeet word for horse is punakomita, which means, well, punika means elk, imita means dog. So you have elk, dog. You see, the Indians related this new animal to the ones that they already knew, and that is still the word for horse today, punakomita.
Wow. How did the horses get here?
Well, the Blackfeet probably traded other tribes further east and south for them. The horses were most likely descendants of Spanish stallions that, believe it or not, Christopher Columbus brought over.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes I think about it. You know, those must have been incredible times. Just imagine riding a horse across the open plains, no boundaries, no fences. Everything you needed was there in abundance, provided by nature.
I think it's still pretty incredible around here. Oh, I love this one here with the Indian and the badger.
Yeah, well, this is based on an old Indian legend about a young Indian who helps a badger out of trouble. But what it is really about is how the Indians lived in total harmony with their environment. You know, long before anybody around here was celebrating Christmas, the Indians had a celebration of their own this time of the year. They celebrated the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year. And they'd have their dances, and they'd give thanks to the one power that they believed governed everything. And nowadays, at this time of the year, many of the Indians, they combine their dances and their festivities with our type of Christmas celebration.
You know, it always amazes me that people from all over the world, despite so many differences, still share in celebrating Christmas.
Exactly. You know, all this sculpture is the work of one man, Bob Scriver. He grew up on the reservation here, and as far as I'm concerned, he is one of the great artists of our country. Right now, he's working on a sculpture of an Indian praying to the sun.
Hi, Mr. Scriver.
Hi, Jenny.
Bob?
Hi, Tom.
I'd like you to meet a friend of ours. This is Amy Grant.
Hello.
Hi, Amy.
Nice to meet you, Mr.
My
Scriver.
pleasure, my pleasure.
Your statues are just fantastic.
Thank you.
Guess what? Amy's agreed to sing at our Christmas celebration with the Glacier Orchestra and Chorale.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Are you gonna come?
You bet I wouldn't miss it for the world. How about you give me a hand here so I can come to your concert?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is this right? Right here?
Right there, be good enough.
Amy, I have to ask you, have you taken care of your Christmas shopping yet?
Are you kidding? You're talking to the world's greatest procrastinator. I started a needlepoint pillow for my mom back in 1970.
1970? How old were you then?
About 10, but it's just about done now. Anyway, besides my parents, I have 3 older sisters. They're all married and have kids, plus my 2 grandmothers. When I get home, I'm gonna be one busy elf.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, looks like we're getting a little more snow.
Amy, you take a look around in there. You're gonna find some things you won't see in your average store. Jenny and I'll pick you up later.
Okay.
Can I help you?
No, it's okay. I'm just kind of looking around.
Doggone it, you look familiar. Excuse me, what's your name?
Amy?
Hi, Moose Sims.
Hi, Moose. Nice to meet you. Moose. Never heard of Moose before.
Well, I'm lucky my parents at least gave me an animal name. You should meet my brother, Douglas Fir. Wait a second, I think I know you. Aren't you Aunt Doris's kid?
No.
I know, you're my cousin Jack's wife, aren't you?
No, sorry.
Oh, this is gonna bother me. What exactly are you looking for?
Well, I was kind of looking maybe for a Christmas present.
You're in luck. We got many great Christmas gifts here, as you can tell, but we got all our specials right up here. Here's one I think is fine. It's a wonderful Christmas gift, and it's used around the Christmas table. It's an individual gravy boat. It's also good for a salt lick for your smaller barnyard animals. It's a very good gift.
It seems a little shallow. No, thanks.
Well, we got some other things here. Here's my personal favorite. Ted, could you get that? We got a beautiful little lamp here. This is a lamp made from sheep hoof. Ted! Anyway, you got your 3 sheep hoof. Of course, there's no three-legged, excuse me, I can't order these dentures by mail. There's no 3-legged sheep, of course. What the Indians do, they take one of the hooves and they grind them up for your amino acids. It's very good to make a drink out of it. And it's also good for people like you and I, if you like to count sheep at night, right by the side of the bed there, you can count by 3s. It's kind of a sheep abacus, isn't it? It's also good. We have another thing with the deer, with the 3 deer leg. It's considered no dose. I'm just kidding you now. Would you like one of these?
Well, it's a great lamp and everything, but...
It's one of a kind.
I don't know. A lamp like that seems like you'd need a pair. I think maybe not.
You're in luck. We got 2 of them right here. I'm not going to hard sell you, though. We got lots of stuff. You want something bigger, don't you?
Maybe.
Come with me.
Okay.
What you need is a nice bear. This is a perfect Christmas gift idea.
Good-looking bear. What'd I do with it?
I'll tell you what I do in my home. I have him right there in the entryway, right in the foyer, big as can be. He's got a little trip switch, voice-activated thing. Your solicitor comes around, your collection agency, burglar. They will leave you alone. What do you think?
I don't think so.
You want your smaller animal, I can tell. Uncle Moose is here. Hi, kids. How you doing?
Hi there. Who's this?
This is Amy. Say hello. Hey, what happened to your friend here? He looks pretty bad.
I get run over by an 18-wheeler on the interstate. Hi. Nighttime when Moose leaves, the place is ours. Ah!
I don't think so.
Not for you, huh? You're going to have to help me then. Who exactly are you shopping for?
Well, I'd like to get something for my dad.
Your dad, that's it. It's Lloyd. Your dad is Lloyd. He runs the worm ranch out in Polson. I always wondered how they brand those little worms in a worm ranch. How do they do that?
No, Moose, my dad's a doctor.
Doctor?
Yeah, and he's the kind of guy that says he's got everything he needs.
Oh, he didn't have everything.
Really?
He didn't have everything, because I have here something he does not possess, and this is the ultimate sport. It's not your fad sport like your baseball or football. This is a sport that's been around for centuries, logging. And there's no greater thrill than going up a big 50-foot dead fir in the morning and you take the top 10 feet off. It's a big thrill. And also, this is an accurate tool. This tool here is very accurate. You can cut your miter joints on molding, or you wouldn't think you'd get a clean cut from Mike with this, but you can with the right feel.
I think you better stick to golf. Hey, how about that beer shop right there?
Oh, this rusty old thing. This hasn't worked in years. We get lots. It also makes a good bat caddy, though. Ted!
Hey, Moose, I think maybe I ought to be going.
Okay, but I don't want you to go empty-handed. I want you to have this arrowhead.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I know it is. It's one of a kind. You see, this once belonged to a Blackfeet warrior chief, and he gave it to my grandfather. And my grandfather, on his deathbed, sold me this arrowhead. I want you to have it.
No, I couldn't.
I insist. Now, you've been real nice. You come to visit me here. You looked around my store. You didn't buy anything, and I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't, because I couldn't bear to part with any of this stuff, and I'm not going to try and sell you anything else. But before you go, I want you to look at one last area. I've got some record albums here that are just fabulous. I have Deflate a Mouse done by Jack Palance. I have great albums. I have some old albums and some new as well. I have Amy Grant. You probably already have this, so don't you? You know, I knew it was you all along. Did you know that?
I know.
I knew it was you. I just didn't want to make you feel embarrassed.
I could tell. Thanks.
Why don't you have another arrowhead?
I thought you said this was one of a kind.
One of a kind, two of a kind. It comes from a two-headed spear. You take this.
Right.
And before you go, as a favor to me, would you just sing some of that song? I love that song, that Who Do You Listen To? Who do you listen? Would you sing some of that for me? I love it.
No, not now. I tell you what, I'm singing at the town Christmas show.
Go
Why
on.
don't you come on down?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'll come on down.
Okay, Moose. I'll
Thank
see
you,
you.
Amy.
Bye-bye.
God love you. Hey, you're going to be on stage. You might need some wardrobe.
Well, so much for our quiet little vacation. But you know, it just goes to show you, sometimes the things you don't plan turn out to be the best. In fact, Gary and I have had such a good time up here that we've invited a couple of musician friends of ours to come up and help us out with the Christmas celebration.
Well, aren't you going to tell us who they are?
No, it's a surprise.
I wonder if it'll top last year's concert surprise.
What was that?
Oh, Bob Emmett dressed up like a reindeer and tried to climb down the chimney.
Wait a minute, reindeer don't go down the chimney.
Well, neither did Bob. He got stuck in there for about an hour. But he did hear the concert.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have a surprise. Gary, Merry Christmas.
For me?
Yep, it's an arrowhead.
Wow. Wait a minute. This is made in Taiwan.
Okay, this is to get you back for the electric pencil sharpener that you got me that year, along with a pack of pencils.
What?
Yeah, one year Gary thought that would be a very romantic gift for his songwriting wife.
Come on, I've given you some really nice gifts.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I think he gave me a shotgun.
Shotgun?
Yeah.
It was a really nice shotgun.
Okay, so what goes on at the Grant household at Christmas?
It's wonderful. And my whole family gets together over at my mom's and dad's house. All the kids. We have a huge Christmas dinner. Just thinking about it makes me want to be home.
Yeah, as pretty as it is up here, something special about Tennessee.
Yeah, I think it's just because it is home. About 2 years ago, Gary and I wrote a song about Christmas in Tennessee. I think maybe it says it best. Come on, weatherman, give us a forecast, snowy white. Can't you hear the prayers of every childlike heart tonight? Rockies are calling, Denver snow falling. Somebody said it's 4 feet deep, but it doesn't matter. Give me the laughter. I'm gonna choose to keep another tender Tennessee Christmas, the only Christmas for me, where the love circles around us like the gifts around our tree. Well, I know there's more snow up in Colorado than my roof will ever see, but a tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. Too much, you ought to come there sometime.
Sure.
Visit us? Every
get a wandering urge to see. Maybe California, maybe tinsel towns for me. There's a parade there we haven't made there. Bring home a tan for New Year's Eve. Sure sounds exciting, awfully inviting. Still, I think I'm gonna keep another tender Tennessee Christmas. The only Christmas for me, where the love circles around us like the gifts around our tree. Well, they say in LA it's a warm holiday. It's the only place to be. But a tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you know I wanna be home. Well, I know there's more snow up in Colorado than my roof will ever see. Yeah. But a tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. A tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me.
Oh, that's really nice. I think you lost your number one fan. As everybody gathered here at the Kootenai Lodge and the Glacier Orchestra and Chorale finished setting up, I gotta tell you, there was a real sense of anticipation. After all, we live in a little town in the north of Montana, and to have Amy here as part of our Christmas celebration was just something very, very special.
Praise to God whose love was shown. Jesus left his rightful throne. The Virgin's baby son, all creation praised him. God incarnate, come to Bethlehem. Still a higher call had he. Come to set all people free. For by the sin of man we fell. By the Son of God he crushed the power of hell. Death we fear no more. Now we stand with strength, with power. Faithful to the final hour. All praises give for the babe, the Son, the Savior, King is risen. Christ is Lord indeed. For the babe, the Son, the Savior, King is risen. Christ is Lord indeed.
Thank you. When we were getting organized for this show, I mentioned that I had invited up a couple of friends. Well, I was fortunate enough to have just finished an album with Art Garfunkel. The album was written by a wonderful composer who's come here tonight to conduct this fine orchestra and choir. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Webb. Jimmy's composition is the story of the Nativity as seen through the animals in the manger. It's called The Animals' Christmas. Here to sing it with me is my good friend, Art Garfunkel.
I tell you who will come to Bethlehem on Christmas morn? Who will kneel the little boy Jesus, no crying he make. I love thee, Lord Jesus, look down from the sky and stay by my cradle till morning is nigh.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, Christmas time for me is such a patchwork of images. It's chilly wind and coats with just one glove, red noses and warm woolly hats. It's the smell of wood burning in the fireplace. It's time for being with family and seeing old friends, time to talk and finally having time to listen. It's also a time to reflect, a time to be thankful for everything that we have. But most of all, Christmas is a time to celebrate because God loved us enough to send us his son. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to meet all of you. You're great. I wish you all the merriest of Christmases, and I thank you so much for making this such a special Christmas for me. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Mild he lays his glory by, born that man no
I'm Brian Gumbel. This week on Today, the financial outlook for 87.
I'm Jane Poley. Also, Hill Street's Charles Hayde and moonlighting Sybil Shepherd.
That plus a special Christmas show this week on Today.
Then tomorrow night, Alf's disappointed when he learns he won't have a white Christmas. And on Amazing Stories, Santa Claus is arrested with a bunch of storefront imitations. How can you tell the genuine article from the fakes? Will the real Kris Kringle please stand up?